Hi everyone, I am Latika Kalantri and also known as Shivanya Yogmayaa, which is my spiritual name, and I work as a relationship and life skills coach. I help both the singles as well as couples to deal with their life issues as well as relationship troubles and conflicts and intimacy issues. So today I'm going to talk about how crisis and emotional triggers lead to eating disorders, which is called as emotional eating disorders. Well, it is different from your physical hunger, and your first question would be, what is emotional eating disorder? Many of us are even not aware of the same, that they are on this behavioral issue or habitual issue of emotional eating and binging and cravings. Well, it is a behavior or a habit which is in response to certain emotions. Now, the emotions like maybe loneliness, boredom, sadness, depression, frustration, anger, and so on. So this actually brings about an impulse to eat more than our physical diet on a daily basis. So these kind of emotional eaters reach out to various chips or chocolates or pizzas, croissants, and such kind of nibbles more than their healthy habits. So this takes on a toll on them because they are not aware, or probably it might be your story, you may not be aware that you're not able to deal with your emotions rationally, positively, and empathetically as well. So we keep on binging and eating even when it is not feeling like hunger. So we go open the fridge, we go place an order on Swiggy, or we kind of go and cook in the kitchen something more and stuff ourselves. Now, what are you actually stuffing? The question comes up. You're actually stuffing your feelings, you're numbing it by overeating, by nibbling, by not recognizing that this is an emotional hunger and not a physical hunger. So soon these kind of tendencies become a habit, and so much of so that you start doing it not only once a week or twice a week or thrice a week, you also start nibbling more often in a day. And it becomes alarmingly, bloating and stuffing, and soon you will find yourself going into the toilet off and on, or having stomach disorders, and even feeling guilty after eating. So if we are not dealing with these emotions practically, we might actually get into this habit and ruin our life as well as health, as much as relationships. So now let's understand, why do we do this? One is of course to numb it, but there's another reason is we find cravings and binging as a soothing effect. When we eat that chip, when we nibble that chocolate, it gives us a feeling of comforting. It gives us a feeling of, being dealt with our emotional chaos or void as well. And then we choose it as a distraction and as well as an escape. Now, what are you escaping from? You are escaping from avoiding and examining your feelings, your emotions, whether they are about anger, whether it's about loneliness or boredom, which I'm sure many of us are already facing it, and use more broadly for stress. Why? Because stress could be happening on an emotional level or a physical level, or maybe at a level of financial crisis or stress. So this all makes us want to reach out for more food, or more cravings, more binging, and we order more. We stock our house and food, kitchen and fridge with all these cakes and pastries, when we actually know this is not right, which is not going to help us. But then the impulse and compulsive desire leads us to eat it. So once you recognize that there is an emotional attached to your food and habit, probably you will overcome it. So it's not that difficult. It's not such a challenge that you can't overcome it. In fact, I welcome my clients to do 21 days challenge with me on the same, to how to overcome this by mindfully addressing your emotions, seeing where is it coming from. And I do certain practice for the same, how to help them recognize their emotions, what is the void about, what is this numbing needed, what are you numbing. And then when we understand that, we can plan a roadmap to overcome it. Sometimes you can do it with your own willpower, and sometimes you probably need a friend or a counselor to help you through this. So if we don't overcome it, what could happen? Well, it would lead to physical illness. It could lead to emotional, mental stress, and this could make you lose your concentration and focus in life, which will of course make you lose your job as well. And beside that, being a relationship coach, many people have come to me about the conflict in relationship or loss of intimacy without knowing that it was actually because of all this. Undealt emotions, unresolved emotions. And sometimes when I have worked with certain clients, it actually leads to their childhood. The childhood wounds that they might be carrying, as well as, let me candidly place it, it is also about sexual wounds. So whatever the wound is, or whatever the void is, we can address it instead of using food as an escape, instead of nibbling chips and chocolates, because it's not going to resolve your issue anyways. It will only make you feel more hopeless and more at a loss, feeling like a failure, feeling like a loser, and nobody wants to get there. Even in the moments of crisis, it is on us how we deal with it. And we can't control certain things like coronavirus or lockdown phases, but what we are in control of is our emotions, how we deal with it, how do we cope up with it without allowing it to make us impulsive, compulsive eaters. Okay? So if you're willing to take this challenge, you could try these 3 tips that I could share with you. First of all, try to understand your emotion. Become aware what's going on when you're nibbling, or when you're even about to reach out to the kitchen or fridge or Swiggy or Zomato. Just ask yourself, what is it? Is it really a physical hunger? And do you really feel the need to eat? Or is it something that is your emotional trigger which is causing it? So becoming aware is the first step. Second step would be journaling. Now what do I mean by journaling? It is like a venting on a paper. You journal what your feeling is, what your frustration is, what your anger is all about, or what your loneliness is all about, and so on, and sadness. So journal your thoughts and feelings. What does it do for you? Well, it will help you to, first of all, become aware. Second, it will reflect back to you that where is it coming from, and also maybe help you to pause and think and rationalize. So this is something that you can easily do. Third step would be do anything that makes you happy. Well, now what can make you happy is, first of all, yes, we are all in social distancing. We are not with our loved ones, be it our lover or husband or family, our parents, our children. Some of them are torn away. And this is not something that we all want to face on a daily basis. But what can we do about that? Maybe do a video call with them. Maybe get on a phone call. Maybe write an emotional letter to them, what you feel. Because now is the time to go inside and connect from the heart. So connect with your loved ones and friends, lost friends, friends that you knew and not been in touch with. That might give you a cozy feeling, a comforting feeling than a chip and a chocolate. Also, you can try doing certain hobbies that you never got chance to indulge in. Now is the chance to indulge in doing something like maybe playing a guitar, or doing a dance workout online, or doing anything that makes you happy and peppy. Because not everything is gross and not everything is sad until we choose it. So you have a choice. Do you want to stay stuck and unhappy, or do you want to get on with certain resources and certain ways to pep you up? And that means even self-talk. Positive self-talk can also help you pep up. What is the thought that you wake up with? What is the thought that you sleep with? That could also help you to face your emotional challenge. So be your best booster, be your best friend. Also reach out to people who make you feel loved and positive. So these are the 3 tips that I have just shared with you. But then there are people who may wonder that how do I know that it is a physical hunger or emotional eating disorder? Well, when you are in a physical hunger, what you really do is, when you're feeling hungry, your stomach will want it. It will groan, it will say that I'm hungry. So you eat out of a physical hunger in your stomach. But when you eat emotionally, it is a thought which is driving you. That's your emotion telling you go eat that. Okay? It's not coming from your stomach. Secondly, how do we differentiate whether it's a physical hunger or emotional hunger? Is 3 meals a day is a physical hunger. But anything above 4 or 5 or 6 meals a day, trust it is an emotional hunger. Whether you're cooking it or whether you're ordering it. If you're eating more than 3 times a day as a practice, like just eating because you want to fill up something out of boredom or out of pain, then that is an emotional eating disorder. Also, we can gauge it from, you can eat any food when it comes to hunger, but emotional eating disorder people actually crave for certain food and certain flavors, certain snacks like croissants, pastries, chips, chocolate, pizzas, as a stuffing, as a filler, as a impulse desire, not just because they want to eat out of pleasure, because they enjoy eating it, but it is more out of an emotional need to numb it by making us feel pepped up. So we might either reach for salty food or spicy food, or because we're looking for excitement, or we may eat for the sweetness. That's something that we're missing in our love life, could be also that. So this is also another way to distinguish it. And the other way that you could look at is when you feel that you've eaten food and you feel satisfied after 3 chapatis or something like that. But in emotional eating disorder, you overeat yourself, and then you feel bloated, and then after that you feel guilty and shame. Sometimes these people don't want to eat in front of others. They want to take their packs and chocolates and eat it in their own corner of a room or house, and they don't want to be a part of the group eating. They are shying from eating. So that is another way to distinguish whether you're an emotional eater or a physical eater. And also, I think this eating hunger comes as a physical eating hunger comes more as a gradual. But when it is an emotional eating disorder, you eat instantly and you need it urgently because you feel so restless and breathless. You actually start having unbreathing feeling, and you want to just go and numb and eat something. You will find yourself feeling restless when you're looking for food or that nibbles. And these are the ways you can know whether you are eating out of emotion, suppressed emotions, or unresolved emotions. So it is a choice now. Do you want to continue with this practice, or do you want to break away from this? And is it possible? Yes, it is possible. You don't need medicine for it. You don't need antidepressant solution for this. You only need to sit down and ask yourself, what is it that I am suppressing? What is it that I'm not dealing with? What is that I'm not ready to face? Hi to everyone out there. I can see so many waves. I'm not able to reach out to each of you and say hi. But yes, I guess I'm already conveying your answers. So Ask yourself, pause and reflect. Am I eating out of hunger? Am I eating out of an emotional void? Is it something that I am not willing to face? So then allow yourself to speak up to your own self. Listen to your inner voice. Deal with it. Journal it. And become aware of it. That would be the first few steps to do. And if you need a help, you need a counselor to sit with you and walk you through this phase, feel free to connect with me. And how there could be triggers like, loneliness, boredom, anger, frustration, sadness, depression, and any other wound that you might be holding against your parents or loved ones or exes, or anything that you're not able to face in your financial issues. Could be a financial crisis. So yes, there are ways to deal with it in a creative way, in a practical way, so that you don't have to reach out for the food as a solution. So be your best friend, make the best choice, be your own best judge, and you're in control of your emotions and so of your life. So with that, I think I would like to say goodbye, and if there's anything that you would like to drop in as a message, or write here in the chats or connect with me on my number, feel free to do so. And stay home, stay safe. Bye.